Well, it would appear that the New York Rangers are about 24 hours away from being done. And this is a setup where the Carolina Hurricanes are just ready. This is a team that I would not want to be facing them in the first round. Boston. So again, and we'll see how the seedings work out in the East. But this is quite the setup we now have. So Carolina early on gets news, of course, that Shesterkin unavailable, so they're going to get Lundqvist again. Now Lundqvist had a decent enough game. I mean that. I'm saying straight out he had a decent enough game. But there's a problem with Lundqvist that he allows the early goal. Reminds me of Luongo that way. That you're probably going to be playing from 1-0 down. And so Buchnevich gets a penalty 16 seconds in. The Canes go to the power play. And right out of the gate, you can see that the Canes, they're ready. They're good to go. They're focused. They know what they need to do. And the Rangers are going to be skating uphill throughout this game. No shots on the power play. Good penalty kill by the Rangers. Mrazek then passed an early test from Fox. The puck goes the other way. Svechnikov gets his first of what would be a few goals today from Aho and Vatanen at 4:32. It was under the arm of Lundqvist. It's the second shot, and it was not a great goal. Honestly, not a fantastic goal. And it's one of those ones where you go, gee, if Shesterkin was in, would he have saved it? And that's a question we don't have the answer to yet. The Rangers really needed to stop the Canes' fast breaks, and that's the story. Honestly, the story of these two games is just the Canes' speed, their tenacity, their ability to get to all those loose pucks. Their forecheck was the storyline today. Mrazek absolutely robbed Brett Howden. That Howden shot should have gone in. He's looking skyward, stick behind his head. I don't know how. I don't know how Mrazek snags it, but he does. And it showed that he was in. And so right away I said, yeah, it looks bad for the Rangers today. At the halfway mark, the Rangers get a power play, and then, that was through some pressure, and then there was a slash by the Canes that led to a 5-on-3. During the 5-on-3, it's Artemi Panarin getting a goal from Strome and D'Angelo. So during the 5-on-3, the Rangers tie it up. And it was a great pass by Strome, and it's roofed by Panarin. And so if you're watching this, you're thinking, well, maybe, right? Maybe they can do this. Maybe we're going to see something happen in the Rangers' favor. Svechnikov then to Aho, 2-on-1. Another fast break. It's saved. And it's about at this point you realize Sebastian Aho is on a whole other level right now. So the storyline I know will be Svechnikov. And I understand. I get it. But Aho's passing today was absolutely spot on. And this is why Mark Bergevin tried to steal him from Carolina last summer. Martinook then takes a penalty. The Rangers get another power play. Short-handed, Aho and Edmondson on a 2-on-1. So Aho, very strong, very great, very good game for him in every area. Mrazek then denied Zibanejad on a fast break chance the other way. That was during the power play. And Lundqvist then made a great save on Geekie. Morgan Geekie, I thought, had a good game. Second period, early pressure drew a power play for the Carolina Hurricanes. And it's Svechnikov on the power play from Vatanen and Aho, 3 seconds. So like last night where Minnesota gets a goal from Fiala 3 seconds into a power play, Svechnikov gets a goal 3 seconds into the power play for Carolina in this one. And Vatanen, he's been pretty decent too. 2 assists for him. Aho with 2 assists to this point in the game. 1:11 in. And then at 2:22, it's Martinook that gets a goal from Geekie and McGinn. So, minute and 11 seconds apart. That made it 3-1. And at that point, I was like, okay, so this is going to be a game that's going Carolina's way. It's right about then that I put on my Carolina jersey. I was like, well, Carolina's going to win it. The Rangers called a timeout. It was like, okay, we've got to get this straightened out. The Canes were still getting too many fast breaks, even coming out of the timeout. It just wasn't going to happen. Lundqvist was holding as the Canes were looking for more. Aho, it looked like, was in beast mode on every single shift. Every shift, he was hungry for the puck, and he was not out of control about it. It was a very controlled, and beast mode just meaning if he has it on his stick, good luck getting the puck away from Aho today. Mrazek was very composed. when he was needed, when the Rangers were getting chances, but the Rangers were really being forechecked right out of this game. The forechecking by Carolina was masterful. This was absolutely great. We had expected coming into these play-ins that hockey might be really sloppy. I never said that because I thought, you know what, these guys know how important these games are. These are playoff games. This is not, October hockey. These guys realize, hey, if we don't play well, we're going home in a few days. And here we are. We're seeing already where teams are likely going home already. They get to leave the bubble because their time is done. Williams had a shot that almost fooled Lundqvist. It was not a fantastic shot. It was from distance. If that one had gone in, but it didn't. The Canes were being both. They were strong. They were fast. They were aggressive. Any good adjective you can use about, or I guess any good adverb you can use about their game, or adjective, sure. It was there. It was absolutely there for them, and this was a determined bunch. Mrazek denied Hedl. There just wasn't any daylight. Hedl with a good shot, but Mrazek wasn't giving anything. It's not like you could look and say, okay, so I can go top corner, I can go 5-hole, I can go over the glove. There was nothing there. Mrazek was just, his positioning was sound today. Robbed Smith shortly thereafter that. So Brendan Smith gets a chance, and he was robbed. The Rangers pressed in the final minute. There was a scrum at the end of the second period. There had been one at the end of the first as well. Coming out of that scrum at the end of the second, the referees decided, okay, we're going to have offsetting penalties to try to silence this and knock it down. So we get a 4-on-4 to start the third, and the Canes were almost caught with too many men. Something that's pointed out by Anson Carter during this broadcast, and I agree, with no fans in attendance, when these guys yell out on the ice to each other now, they're able to hear very clearly what's being said. So guys from the bench are able to yell out, don't touch it, when there's too many men on the ice. Guys are able to yell for line changes. There's a lot of communication going on between players that normally fans might interfere with. So I think that's a good thing. But again, I know there's people who don't like the no fans in attendance part of it. Williams took a penalty. The Rangers go to the power play. And Aho, again, on the penalty kill, was fan-flippin-tastic. He was so good. I can't stop just beaming about how good Sebastian Aho was in this game. Relentless Canes forechecking continued. The Canes top six was outplaying the Rangers top six. The Rangers bottom six was solid. The top six completely nullified. Whereas the Canes, all four lines were playing very, very well. Pressure by the Canes with 6.5 minutes left. Lundqvist was saving until Svechnikov gets the first ever hat trick in the history of the Carolina Hurricanes playoffs. And I know people are still going to say, these aren't playoffs. Stop calling them that. They're being called playoffs. So, ta-da. Svechnikov, Aho with the assist, of course, at 14:02. The one thing with Aho is you can't just play the pass. If you're a goalie here, you have to play the shot as well, because Sebastian Aho is perfectly capable of scoring goals all in and of himself. So, there we go. D'Angelo then snapped. He gets thrown out of the game. He engaged with Martinook. Martinook's not going to get bullied by D'Angelo. D'Angelo went off. A lot of garbled words on the screen, but I can read lips. Shame on you, Tony D'Angelo. Shame on you for using that language. But the Canes get a power play out of it. And the Rangers would end up hitting both posts after they killed off that power play. The Canes then had a power play in the last 2 minutes to end it. So Carolina won the first game 3-2. Mrazek saved 25 out of 26 for that one. In this one, he saves 23 out of 24, and they win 4-1. No, that should be 25 out of 27. But anyways, you guys know what I mean. Anyways, 37 hits to 33 in favor of the Rangers. They didn't have the puck as often as Carolina, so that makes sense. The shots were 7-6 Rangers in the first, 12-10 Carolina in the second, 16-7 Carolina in the third. Final shots, 34-24 in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. Power plays, 1-for-4 for the Rangers, 1-for-4 for Carolina. 56 out of 57 winners in NHL history when they're up 2-0. So once out of 57 times have we seen a team come back from being down 2-0. This is why best of 5 series are more intense, and there's no time. So when I've seen people going, you're just overreacting to just a game 1 loss, it's nothing. This is not a best of 7. It's a best of 5. And now Carolina's won 2 against the Rangers, employing the same tactics in both games. and looking great doing it. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.